Okay, so next estimate about scientists are saying that July 15th, not July 15th, July 25th, July 26th, or July 27th, or July 24th. That's the best estimate of the next eruption. Because there's actually an active volcano right there. This is coming out, so you guys know that it's actually active. So I think that's all. It's actually very rainy and windy here. So see you later.
On my programs is talk about the practice of kilo. So kilo in Hawaiian is to observe. So Native Hawaiians use this practice all the way from their voyages from Tahiti to the Hawaiian Islands. So they observe the wave currents, the wind currents, the stars, and all the birds up ahead. So they use these different navigation techniques to find the Hawaiian Islands and navigate their way through the sea. And people still use this practice to this day. Everyone uses this without even knowing. People will kilo for hours on end and really just understand where they are, or they can just kilo for 5 minutes to just see kind of what they're observing and the environment that they're entering. So I'm sure you guys have kiloed without even noticing, and notice this beautiful tree we have here on the left. This is the Ohia Lehua tree. This is all over our park. It's one of the dominant species. You usually see the red blossoms on it. So you can see either red blossoms, sometimes there's orange blossoms, yellow, and some may say even white. So the ohia tree is pretty much broken into two. So the ohia is the tree itself, and the lehua is the blossoms that it produces. And this is a very special tree here. It's a native and endemic tree. So that means that it's native to our ecosystem, and it's only found here in the Hawaiian Islands. So the ohia lehua tree has adapted to its environment. We might be thinking, how can it flourish so well next to the volcano? The volcano produces many gases, some like sulfur dioxide, and usually plants don't do too well with the sulfur dioxide. But the ohia lehua has a very special superpower. In each leaf, it has stomatas, which is basically its breathing system. So those are its pores that it breathes out of, and when it senses the toxic gases in the air, it can actually close its stomatas or hold its breath for a long period of time. So it has that adaptive feature, and it has many more adaptive features. It was also used as a medicinal plant back in the day. They would use the leaves and the lehua blossoms to alleviate some pain from childbirth. We also use the lehua blossoms in traditional hula practices, even in the modern day. We usually see it in their headpieces, their lepo'o. So we don't like to pick the lehua blossoms on a regular basis, but in a cultural practice, that's typically when they're picked. So the ohia lehua tree is a very cool species, and we might have also kiloed everything that's around us, all of this debris that we've been walking on. So do you guys think this was shipped in, or it came from somewhere else?
It looks like it was shipped in.
It does. But surprisingly, this was actually all created from the volcano. So all of these rocks are actually some of the youngest rocks alive, younger than all of you guys. So these are only about 2 months old. The last time we've had tephra rain is about 2 months ago. So tephra is a vague word for anything that fountains out of the volcano when there's lava fountains and gets pulled through the air. So that's when we get all these different forms of tephra around. So a lot of the stuff that we're on right now is pretty broken down because it was scooped out of the walkways. Because when we get tephra rain, when we get tephra rain, we have certain lava fountain heights and wind direction. So all of this debris will start to rain down on us. And sometimes we can get tephra pieces as big as soccer balls.
Wow.
So we have different forms of tephra. We have the pieces that are high in silica. We see that all around us, the shiny pieces. We see Pele's hair, which is very strung out. It's a glass texture. It looks like just a piece of golden hair. And that's when it's super duper strung out. We also have Pele's tears, which is typically at the end of a Pele's hair. And we have reticulite, which is actually the lightest rock in the whole entire world. And I have a few pieces put aside that everyone can hold, and you can just tell how special these rocks are with how light they are. But don't grip it too hard because they're super fragile and we don't want to get the glasses in our hands. But we can just put that around the circle. We can see all the shiny pieces of silica. And then in that piece, the airy stuff, that's going to be more of a hefty form of reticulite. So sometimes we'll see pieces super big of just bubbles, and that's going to be the true form of reticulite.
I found some.
Almost. So you see that black shininess?
Yeah.
That's silica. So when we see reticulite, it just looks like cotton candy almost. Just super pulled out. Yeah, what were you?
I don't think the rock is the youngest because I think that camera's the youngest. I think it's like 1 month old.
What was your question? Do you remember?
Did the lava make the rocks erupt down here?
So basically when we have these lava fountains, it will spew up and then the wind will kind of just bring out the lava and then it will just harden in the air. And then once the wind takes all these super light rocks, it will just fall onto us.
Like fire bubbles.
Yeah.
So these are considered rocks, even though they're so incredibly like fragile and porous.
Yes.
Like I could just break it with my hand.
Yes, and this isn't even the most porous piece. We often see like I can show a picture of the true form of reticulite. It's very airy, it's 96% air. It's super cool.
And that's what you refer to as Pele's hair?
Yeah, so this one's
Oh,
So light.
yeah, that has like a lot of
So like sticky.
Did you see it?
Pele's
So
hair.
light, like a foam.
It's more strung out, so it just really looks like a piece of hair.
Oh, okay.
And it's very
yeah.
golden and shiny. We often see it when it's super sunny out. But the reticulite doesn't last too long on these popular trails because it's so light. We just end up crushing it.
This is a very light rock.
But if you guys are on the more secluded trails, then the volcano we're standing in.
Yeah.
What do you think? Everyone, you want to take a guess? Did you have a guess? I can give you guys a hint.
Maybe Kīlauea.
Yeah, good job. We're on Kīlauea. Yes. So Kīlauea is one of the most active shield volcanoes in the whole entire world. Behind us, we also see Mauna Loa. So Mauna Loa translates to long mountain in Hawaiian. That is actually the biggest shield volcano in the whole entire world, measured from the ocean floor. We also have Mauna Kea, which translates into White Mountain in Hawaiian. Mauna Kea is pretty easy to spot once it's cleared up because it has those white towers on top for the stargazing observatory. Yes. And then we also have Hualalai. Did anyone land in the Kona airport? Yeah. So everyone who landed in the Kona airport, you guys actually landed on the last eruption of Hualalai. That erupted in 1801. And that volcano is known to erupt every 200 to 300 years. So we might be needing a new airport pretty soon. And then our last volcano on the island is Volcano. So Volcano is the only extinct volcano we have here on the Big Island of Hawaii. So we might be wondering, can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So we might be wondering why is the most active volcano in the world? So the Hawaiian Islands have all been formed from a hot spot. This hot spot is underground underneath the ocean. So this hot spot stays relatively in the same exact place, but the Hawaiian Islands over time are formed from this hot spot and then slowly move on the Pacific plate and erode over time. So right now, our island, the youngest island, is on the hot spot. That's why we're so big, because we're still getting fueled by this volcano and this hot spot underwater. But there's also another volcano underwater getting fueled from the hot spot as well. So that one will surface in around 100,000 years. sure everyone has heard of Hawaiʻi. Yeah, that one's pretty small, but that one actually was where we are about 5 million years ago. So all of the Hawaiian Islands have been created by the same hotspot, and then they just slowly eroded. So there's hundreds of Hawaiian Islands that have just eroded over time. This hotspot has been around for millions of years. But yeah, so we're on it right now, so we're the most active volcano. And we are also a shield volcano. So in Hawaii, we have shield volcanoes. They're not their typical volcano that you might be thinking of, like a volcano that's a triangle and spews out the top. We have shield volcanoes, which is a really good example of Mauna Loa. It's like a turtle shell shape or just a shield shape. So shield volcanoes go through different processes. They either are in a breaking down process or a building back up process. So as you can see, this is the Hawaiʻi crater. This is the main crater of the Kīlauea volcano. This crater is in its building back up stage. So for the past year and a half, we've had 51 eruptions. So these eruptions have been classified as episodes because they're so close together. But these eruptions have been building this crater up. So it used to not be this tall, and USGS, the people who track the volcanoes, actually believe if we stay with this consistent lava flows, then the crater will be at the caldera top within 2028. So it's building up super fast. It wasn't always in this stage. It actually had a collapsing event in 2018. So before 2018, we actually had a lasting lava lake within this crater. When 2018 hit, there was a ton of earthquakes that collapsed the crater walls. The crater collapsed around 1,300 feet. It created huge ash balloons and a ton of earthquakes. Once it collapsed, the lava lake actually drained, went underground, flowed about 45 minutes from here, and erupted in a neighborhood called Leilani Estates. So when it erupted, it actually took out around 700 homes and created about 800 acres of new land. So it's a good example of how the lava and the volcano creates, but it also destroys. But when this did happen, and all that collapsed event, it collapsed so far down deep that it hit the water table. Once it hit the water table, water started to rise up and we had a water lake within this crater. Scientists were a little concerned about that because what do you think happens when lava and water mix? Big boom. So we would have a very big explosive event. Luckily for us, the next eruption that happened after that actually came from the crater wall. Once it came from the crater wall, it was so hot it just evaporated that whole entire water lake. And then ever since then, we've been building back up. Before we've had this 51 episode eruption event, we thought that it would take about 10 years for the crater to go up to the caldera edge. But since the volcano's been so active, like I said before, they think that it will be at the top within 2028.
Where's the lava?
150 feet. It lasted about 8 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, hell no. This is a particulate. It's actually this very cool rock, and it's the lightest rock in the world. I could even carry it. A baby can carry it. And so a fun fact about it is that you could actually break it in half. Yeah, see? You can see all of that. I broke it. brown side. But here is dark brown particulate. There's lots of black in it that mixes with the brown particulate right here. This is what we're going to show next. But here it mixes and it turns into this dark brown particulate. It could break too, like the same one. They can all break. It's just they're both hard to find. Now we can put that aside. And then next we have this particulate. It's the rarest of them all. It's actually this particulate that has no black stuff or no dark brown on it. So it's only the shiny part inside of it. It's the coolest one of all. And it's the most rarest to find. It actually took me this whole trail to actually find only one. Because some of them look like one, but they actually weren't. They actually had it looked like it, but they had lots of it, but it doesn't have any black on it. And it's even easier to break because of the black is the shield of it. So, and now it's even easier to break. So, I think that's it about the particulate, so bye. Hey guys. Alright, hey guys. So there's actually a smoke thing. That's why I'm covering that up in case the smoke comes. There's actually like a smoke thing. There's more all the way everywhere. There's some over there, some over here. Let's talk about this. And there's actually a hot lava and water inside, deep in there. So there's money in there. I don't know why, but I think they're doing glitches. But here,
One more time, buddy.
Lots of hot steam and water comes up to the surface, blasting, making this hot surface come up. So that's what, and then still steam is coming up till today. So like and subscribe if you want to know more.